Assalamu alaikum and welcome to An Nur the Light. It feels like just yesterday we were saying goodbye to the month of Ramadan, and yet here we are on the doorstep of Hajj and Eid al-Adha. This reminds me of Surah Al-Asr, in which Allah reminds us to make good use of our time by living life to the best of our ability. September is Heart Awareness Month, and we have a story of courage and hope just ready for you.
Most children at 4 years old are well into enjoying their lives and the world around them. For Thaakirah Matthews, the joy of doing this has only just begun. Her first years on earth was spent in and out of hospital as she battled a rare heart defect.
Thaakirah was born with congenital heart defects, 4 different defects. At the time when she was diagnosed at 3 months, there was no doctors available or surgeons to do her operation. She was classed as 1 in 500,000, the condition that she had. It was difficult because at the first diagnosis, they didn't quite know what was wrong with her. They knew she had a heart problem, but they didn't know the severity of it.
When we were first diagnosed, it was very scary, very confusing, because I came to hospital because she had a runny tummy. The doctor on duty, when I walked in the door, she said, I'm pretty sure your baby has a heart condition, and I thought she gone mad or something, and I said no. Before I left, she said, you know, I can't let you walk out the door. I need to just do one little test on you. And then she put a SATS monitor on her. And normal SATS for you and me is about 99, 100, and Thaakirah's was 55. And then she said, you're not going home. And that was how we were diagnosed.
Having a child that sick takes a toll on any parent, but for the Matthews family, there was an ever-constant danger of Thaakirah not pulling through.
Being in and out of hospital on a monthly basis, it's hard. It becomes part of your daily routine. It's hard, especially for her brothers and her sister. When she did get sick, her little sister used to say to me, Mommy, when I wake up tomorrow morning, will you be there? And I'd have to say to her, I can't guarantee it, because they know that any hospital visit is normally admittance and a week's stay. So it was tough on especially the kids.
A common call for Thaakirah is like, pack your bags, you're going to be spending the night or the next couple of nights in hospital. So that is difficult. You have to be ready all the time. You can't plan things, you can't plan anything around her. And we were told, look, she's got 6 months, which she's got a year, and from a year, okay, you know, she's got another 6 months. So obviously these are what doctors tell you, because that's in the knowledge that they know. But at the end of the day, you don't plan tomorrow.
In August 2014, after suffering 2 consecutive cardiac failures, she had a 12-hour open heart surgery. Both the brain and open heart surgeries were breakthrough procedures performed in South Africa at the Red Cross Children's Hospital.
Thaakirah is a very unusual girl because she presented with a brain abscess, which in itself isn't that unusual. It's more the location of the abscess, and was in the brainstem. So all the nerves that come out also to the face, to the eyes, to the throat, they all come from the brainstem. The brainstem is responsible also for the seat of your consciousness. It's responsible for your breathing, and her abscess was right in the middle of it. Once you've done an operation like that goes into the brainstem, we're anxious about how she's going to wake up. She woke up in the ICU, she was fine. And she still had the weakness because the pressure of the abscess obviously causes some damage to the nerve fibers, but we were hoping that that would resolve. And one of the great things about treating children, of course, is that they've got this tremendous ability to bounce back despite them facing quite challenging circumstances and neurological deficits or disabilities. And as you can see, she's fine.
After all the suffering and pain, her parents realized that they could turn their experience into a positive one and started the organization Brave Little Hearts.
Brave Little Hearts is a support group for parents with children that's born with congenital heart disease. Currently, the group is consisting of about 7 people right now. And how we've assisted parents is by visiting them in hospital. Sometimes the hospital contacts us and we go out to them. Or with our regular visits at the hospital, we'll find out who the new parents are with kids that will waiting surgery in there. And then most of our interaction with parents are via social media, because it's the cheapest form of media to get to parents, and you always get hold of them in most cases. We try and give them that sort of clear indication that they have the right to know what's happening and what's going to be done to their child, and therefore that gives them sort of clarity on what to ask doctors in that.
Thaakirah Matthews has become a story of incredible hope, bravery and most of all, faith in Allah. While she's not out in the clear as yet, she does have a better chance at life.
I want to hold on to her. I don't... because there are many times when she could not have been here.
Every day with her is a blessing, knowing where she's been, and we treasure every day with her. And of course, there's always that somewhat anticipation that tomorrow something's going to happen or not. But again, you don't put your focus to tomorrow. That's what happened today.
May Allah give little Thaakirah strength as she continues to live every day of her life. Style knows no limit, as we see week after week with our incredibly fashionable brothers and sisters. While Cape Town still has my vote of some of the most stylish people, Durban is definitely giving them a run for their money. Let's see who made it onto this week's Street Style.
Style is a personal thing. It reflects who you are, that's what I believe, and it's not something that can be bought. It's something that you should possess.
My style is more towards hip-hop and more towards smart casual rather than feminine, but I do incorporate Islamic restrictions within my style so that it is maintained. I'm not too feminine, so I don't like extreme bling bling, and I'm also a little bit more earthy, so I like sort of sand things, so you often find me wearing leather bands. And when it comes to hijab, most of the time I like to tie a turban style, so variety of styles like the ones that I have on now.
I was a very fashion-forward girl who never wore hijab and grew up in Australia until I went for Umrah in March of 2013 and decided to wear hijab after that. And that's when I wanted, but still to be stylish, but still be conservative as well.
So the Islamic style and Islamic dress code doesn't really restrict females, I don't feel, because it allows you to be modest but also be fashionable at the same time. The Islamic dress code is very versatile because you can work with different trends, but you just have to make sure that certain parts of your bodies are covered.
Today I've went for a nautical look just to match the setting, so I've accessorized with anchor jewelry and obviously the red, white and blue nautical colors.
What I'm wearing today, it's actually an African attire that was designed by a friend of mine. It's called a dashiki. Most people wear just the dress, but being Muslim and stuff and having to have to cover up yourself, I've opted to wear it with like a maroon chino. The accessories I have are just plain leather armband, which is just to create a bit of style or chic. And then I go with either really big earrings or really bold earrings, and today it's a bit on the bigger side. And the head wrap is more of an eccentric sort of African style that I've just wrapped it in to compromise the African look with the dashiki.
How amazing is it that these Muslim brothers and sisters can dress so funky, yet remain true to the spirit and guidelines of what Islam teaches us? I'm in awe of their superb style and creativity. Xenophobia remains with us, and as a country, we should hang our heads in shame. There are those who have risked so much to make a better life for themselves and are treated by utter contempt by what can only be criminal elements within our society. Islam teaches us to welcome these people as guests.
Xenophobia has once again reared its ugly head, and South Africans should hang their heads in shame. Many of the foreigners who are experiencing this are Muslim, and we should stand by them as Islam teaches us.
I come from DRC, that is Democratic Republic of Congo, because of war and conflict. I came to South Africa because I came for safety and also to have peace and hope.
I come from Uganda, and I found myself landing in South Africa. Leaving home, coming here, you come with a perception, thinking, you'll receive that hospitality of being welcomed. People might understand what is going back to your country, but arriving here, it was a negative.
The safety of all who enter our borders are the responsibility of each and every citizen of this country. It wasn't too long ago when South Africans sought refuge in foreign countries because of apartheid, and we were welcomed with open arms. This courtesy should be employed here too.
Why are we being hated? South Africans also were in our countries. We used to accommodate them nicely, hospitality, but to our surprise to see that they're fighting us.
Most of the foreigners, they would rather stay and spend most of their salary to stay in a suburb area because they think it is safe than to stay in the local communities. Local communities is fellow black people. But why is this hatred, this phobia? We are human beings. They need to give us the dignity, the respect that we need, because really we are all human beings.
We are not a threat. We are here just for safety reasons. If things go back nobody wants to leave home. It's because of the problems that we're facing. They also went through it. We're just here for safety. Time will come. We'll also pack off and go back home.
Conflict resolution is one of the ways to diffuse the situation, and while it takes a skilled professional to engage in this, there are certain tips we can use.
Well, we are Muslim refugees in South Africa, and we're taking care of refugees who are stranded in different kind of areas. Like for example, there are some refugees who have come in here. They can't speak English. They can't be workable. Some don't know computer. So what we do here is to make sure that we bridge that gap between them and the community through projects. So among the projects we're doing is to educate them and give them English lessons. Also create other projects which can make them become self-reliant and self-sustaining as they need to survive in South Africa.
Murasa, I would call it Murasa. They helped us with stationaries, transport, and they're promising us also, if things go well, maybe they would help us with school fees, and that is really promising.
It has really given my children what it gives really in education. My children hardly have, school fees. We had problems with some school fees and with other materials like books and stationaries, all those kind of things. It has really released or helped me so much.
As a nation, we have been through much, but we've become the shining light for those who face oppression. Let's not undo this through what can only be termed as criminal acts, and extend our hand of friendship as well as cover for our foreign brothers and sisters.
I pray that our foreign brothers and sisters find peace and acceptance on our shores, and implore our Muslim leaders to continuously highlight their plight and our duty as Muslims to them. Moulana Philander is once again ready to answer your questions in our Q&A.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Moulana Philander. Welcome to this segment of Q&A on An Nur the Light. The following question was sent to us via email. According to Islam, is there a ruling on a female leaving her parents' house to live on her own even though she is not married? The first consideration when it comes to thinking about leaving the home is to know that Islam is family-centric. It focuses on keeping the family together. But is a female allowed to move out of the house and into her own space? If there is a complete, absolute need for this to happen, then Islam does allow and make allowance for it. Though there are certain prerequisites that have to be in place before this can happen. One of the prerequisites is that the lady needs to move into an environment that is safe and that will ensure her safety. Another prerequisite is that she has to behave in a very moral, righteous manner. These are some of the considerations that need to be in place. If these things are in place, then inshallah ta'ala the Sharia will have no problem with her moving into her own space. If we can't cater for these considerations or these prerequisites, then it will not be allowed. The next question is from Facebook. I wish to travel the world to learn more about different cultures, but in some countries it is disrespectful to decline the offer of food. If the food is not halal, what is the best way to deal with this? I'm sensing that you are feeling that you might offend the people who are offering you food in terms of the food not being halal. This is really an opportunity for you to educate your audience with regard to what halal means. Often it is not so difficult for people to cater to the needs of a Muslim if they have a complete understanding of what halal means. So use it as an opportunity for education and you'll find yourself enjoying a hearty halal meal, inshallah. Our final question: does Islam prohibit females from playing masculine sports like soccer? Islam encourages sports. In fact, it is sunnah to be involved in swimming, archery, and in wrestling. For women, though, there are certain considerations. The consideration is that they have to be dressed in a modest way and that it has to be an entirely women's sport and it should be witnessed only by women. If women want to play soccer, they are allowed to play soccer, but it should be an environment where there are only females. It should be an all-female team and they should be fully, properly attired in Islamic wear. That brings us to the end of this Q&A segment on An Nur. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
For those who'd like a personal response to their questions, Moulana is always available to do this. Get in contact with us and we'll pass it on to him. Details are on screen. Staying in Johannesburg and ready with another sumptuous yet easy to prepare dish is Lamees in our cooking segment.
I'm in Vereniging with Joburg-born Samira Wadi Dasu, and she's also a famous food blogger, and she's going to be sharing some time with us today. Samira, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for having me, Lamees.
Well, we had to. We've heard so much about this fabulous food blog that you've been doing. So what are you going to be sharing with us today?
Today I'll be making an Asian-inspired beef sizzler.
Okay, well, I can't wait to get into that. But before we get into the ingredients of your Asian steak sizzler, how did your food journey begin?
I loved cooking for friends and family and entertaining, so that's basically where it started from.
So tell me, what are the ingredients that we need for this dish?
Okay, so to make this we need 250 grams of beef strips,
yes,
half a red pepper, 2 baby marrows, 2 carrots, some broccoli florets, baby corn, half a red onion, a heaped teaspoon of garlic, some matchsticks of ginger, diced red chili, sweet chili sauce, half a lemon, a teaspoon of sesame oil, some rice vinegar, oyster sauce, about 2 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Then this is the puffed up deep fried rice noodles,
yes,
and this is the boiled egg noodles.
I'd like you to share just one secret with me. How did you get the carrots and the baby marrow to look so curly?
So I have this nifty gadget,
yes,
which allows you to get some elegant spaghetti-like carrot and baby marrow julienne. So what you do is basically take your carrot, you're just going to turn as you go around, and as you're turning, you get...
Oh, wow! So now that we've gone through your plethora of ingredients, what are the steps to making this?
Okay, so let's start.
Okay, you need to go that way. There we go.
So we're going to first start off by heating some sunflower oil. About 2 tablespoons should be enough.
And you want me to pass the aromatics?
Yes, so the ginger, the diced chili, and the garlic.
Okay. Could you use crushed chilies instead of fresh chilies?
Of course.
You have?
Of course,
Awesome.
definitely.
So how long is this going to fry for?
Just for a minute or so, that's about it.
Okay, and then
just to get the flavors released.
Okay, so the oil takes on all the flavor of the chili and the garlic.
Yes.
Okay, and then you wanted your...
The beef, right.
Beef strips.
Then your beef strips goes inside, right.
And how long are you going to fry your beef strips for?
Just until it starts changing color.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be fully cooked. You literally just want to take on a bit of brown and then it's good to go.
Yes.
And now my favorite part, we're throwing in the rest of the ingredients.
Everything else goes inside.
Everything else.
You can start off with the red peppers. Okay, that goes in next. The baby marrows goes in next. There we go.
Your pretty carrots.
Our carrots.
Your broccoli florets.
Our florets of broccoli. There we go.
And the baby corn.
The baby corn. That goes in next.
And I'm assuming you're just going to stir this through and let it cook, but keeping the crunch because you don't want it to go too soft.
So we're not going to overcook it, just to let the flavors all amalgamate, and that's about it.
So now that that's been going, what do we need to do now?
Now we can add in all the sauces.
So I've got your soy sauce.
So then our 2 tablespoons of soy sauce goes inside.
Oyster. And now you're going to be adding some sesame oil.
Yeah, the sesame oil is just to add another element of flavor to the dish.
Okay, so just nice depth of flavor so you get that nice oriental taste coming through. Okay, and then some sweet chili and some rice vinegar.
Yes, rice vinegar. Next ingredient would be then the egg noodles. Yes, the egg noodles go inside. Now this goes inside into the wok, and now it can all just start.
Okay, and I've noticed that it's sort of little bits of ingredients. How many people would this serve?
This could easily feed about 4 people.
Okay, because it's your vegetables and your noodles that are making up the staple of your meal, and you've sort of got your protein there as an accent as well as your noodles.
You could also play around with this dish and substitute. So you could go completely vegetarian, or you could add chicken instead of the beef and zhuzh it up with some cashew nut as an added ingredient.
So your sizzle plate is vleeslagaat.
Okay, at this stage we just take our wok and tilt it into the sizzling pan. Okay, garnish it with our rice noodles. Add some sesame oil to the pan and a squeeze of lemon or lime juice, just to get the sizzle going.
Okay, so this is seriously tantalizing the taste buds.
Exactly.
Oh,
there we done.
So good. And the sound is even better. It is sizzling hot. Really delicate flavors. The sweet, the sour, the salty, and that hint of chili. And I'm getting that subtle hint of the sesame oil. And I'm not stopping at that first bite. So until next time, I'm getting through my sizzling, delicious meal. Assalamu alaikum.
Lamees is in the process of compiling a recipe and cookbook, which I'm sure many of you can't wait to get your hands on. I, for one, am looking forward to my very own autographed copy as soon as it becomes available. We're done for this week, but I remind myself as well as you, our loyal viewers, don't forget about the plight of those less fortunate in our society as we remember them every day during the month of Ramadan. From me, Mara Mukwanda, Salam Hantle, Assalamu alaikum.